You know what I mean? And I already did my bitching in hour number 1. Me and Boone talked about it. But what a train wreck of a segment.
It was a waste of segment. I could have seen something else. I could have seen MVP. I could have seen more, another talent match. I mean, an entertainment match, even a longer match with the Diva or something. But I mean, it got the giggles. It got laughter out of it. You got Santina, yelling and screaming and doing.
It got giggles from Vince McMahon and nobody else. You know what I mean?
I completely agree.
There were a couple spots in there. I mean, Santino's good on the mic. That's about it. You know what I mean? But what a waste! What an absolute waste of time, like you said. And then you said that you would have liked to seen somebody like MVP. Let's transition into Monday Night Raw last night. What did you think of that opening promo by him?
It was smart. It's a good idea. There's just to go back to the pay-per-view, I think the best line. Oh no, actually, it was on Raw. Was it on Raw? It was on pay-per-view. It was on maybe on pay. No, it was. I freaking can't remember right now. I'm all drugged up.
What's this? But
it was a line that Jim Ross told Michael Cole. I think it was it was the pay-per-view about who feed you that line when Cole said something.
Yeah. Because they were ribbing JR. They were ribbing JR live.
That was the best part of the whole entire segment is when who fed you that line, because we always constantly talk about feeds and Vince screaming in people's ears. It was just kind of funny, ironic that, Jim Ross goes out and says that and says, yeah, who's feeding you those lines? So I thought it was kind of funny. But
you knew he was pissed, dude. You knew he was. I mean, you could tell by the look on his face where even at one point he said, that's not going to happen. When somebody said something like, go in there, JR, you're going to kiss Santina? And JR said something like, no, that's not going to happen.
That's probably like the only funny part was just how Jim Ross' reaction was. That was kind of like the only funny part of that. But
I hate it. Jim is the nicest guy. I mean, Jim's emailed me in the past over a blog, and he was the nicest guy, and he writes the blogs, and you can just tell that he's a genuine nice guy. And Vince is just like a big kid, just a big kid that likes the stupid, like the fart jokes and stupid stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's just people kissing his ass. I mean, he likes this. He's like a big teenager. You know what I mean? And you can clearly tell.
Kindergarten attitude.
Yeah, it's like kindergarten. I don't know.
I guess his wife now being part of the Connecticut Board of Education. Why not kind of cater to that demographic? If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But just to answer your question, MVP's promo probably one of the best ones he's had in a long time. I mean, he came out, they gave him the mic. He said a couple of words to Legacy, and the exchange itself. And the good thing about it too is you can tell because the crowd was still into it. Because sometimes you get a face to come out or a heel that turned just face because the WWE kind of turned him into a face.
Mm-hmm.
And for him to come out and say what he wanted to say, I think it was good. I think it was, and not only that, but he performed at the end. So hopefully, WWE management kind of sees that and say, wow, okay, now we got MVP on Raw, which is, of course, a much larger platform. He went out and did his own thing, and I'm proud of him for it.
WXR, I got a live phone call. He's been waiting for a sec. Let me take this live phone call, and then we'll get back to Backlash from WXW Paradise 31 from the live chat room. You're live on WZR Radio. What's on your mind?
Hey guys, I'm wondering. At Backlash, Edge and Christian were yelling at each other over something, and I'm wondering later on, do you think they're going to team up again, or are they going to have a feud with each other?
That's a good question. They did the tease at the Backlash pay-per-view. They actually did another tease after Backlash went off the air on Sunday night where Christian came out and they did another stare down. But they did want the right on the Backlash pay-per-view that we all got to see. It was an interesting tease, but I think right now, judging from the ECW taping tonight, it was cool to see for nostalgia, you know what I mean? But just, I don't know. Christian's on ECW, Edge is on SmackDown. I think it was just done at the pay-per-view to give fans a little something extra. But it's interesting for a tease. Edge is obviously not going to go over to ECW and do a feud over there. Christian being the ECW champion and Edge being a champion over on SmackDown. I think it was just a tease. I don't think they're going to do anything. Maybe in the future. I'm sure at some point in the future with both of those guys there, they'll do something. But not right now. I think Christian goes back to ECW, Edge over on SmackDown. You agree with that, Jose?
I completely agree. It was just one of those teasers that we've seen in the past where two friends face each other. And Matt Hardy, remember the Hardys at one time when they were in their own respected brands. Jeff was on Raw. So it was just one of those things that eventually, we might see something, but at this moment, it's just more of a teaser.
WWE Fan Kiddo from the chat room here live on WZR Radio. What's on your mind?
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Backlash, my favorite part was the last man standing match. I just want to say, when Big Show chokes Cena into Spotlight, I know it's fake, but how do you fake that, though?
Fake is a bad word. Fake wrestling and fake is a bad.
You just said the F word.
yeah, it's like the F word, and I hate that. I to be honest with you, man, I hate when people say anything about fake in wrestling because when you go in there and guys are getting slammed on their backs and this and that, they're taking bumps and they're on the road. More than look at the NFL. You've got an off season. You know what I mean? NHL, all other sports, you've got an off season, and there's no off season in wrestling. So to say it was fake, Cena went back first through the. Obviously, they had planted pyro underneath there, but that's all. That's all carefully planned out. Not to say that it doesn't hurt. If you went down and lights were on your back, you're going to be caught up a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, as far as the pyro and that, all that stuff is pre-planned and set up, and it's a safe spot. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it, you know what I mean? Same thing with Jeff Hardy. When Jeff Hardy does swantons off the Titantron or halfway up the Titantron, they've got lots and lots of protection underneath that spot at the end of Backlash, and I really can't even comment on that. I saw what they showed on Raw, but my stream went out while I was watching that match at Backlash, so I can't really. Jose, you saw it, right?
Yeah, I saw it. You can clearly tell it's not real glass because obviously John would have been a lot more cut up than what he was. And then if you can tell as well in the back when he's laying in the back, there's that back piece that was kind of like inside. So he probably just kind of more of a cushion to give him that crush when he's jumping down or getting slammed down, I should say. And then, of course, exactly the pyro, that kind of, you can just tell every time when, you get, I remember one that he got slammed on a transformer and you just see that pyro come up. So you can just clearly tell it's just pyro.
Yeah, but the pyro distracts it, you know what I mean? The pyro distracts everybody to make it look like, give you that cool visual as you go off the air, you know what I mean? And when that pyro explodes, there's things underneath. There's, well protected. Came off looking real good on TV, but really protected. So that's how they do that stuff. But to say it's fake, I hate when people use that word, fake. Wrestling is fake. I hate that. Whatever. Anyway, instant classic from a live chat room. You're live on WZR Radio. What's up, man?
Hey, I just got two things for you.
Sure.
The first one is about the SmackDown Scramble match that's supposed to be Friday. Now, I was thinking about the competitors in that, and you think, I'll go down with Rey Mysterio. They've done that, a feud with him and Edge. Jeff Hardy, I don't see them putting him near a title with his contract situation. John Morrison, I don't think is there yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see Chris Jericho in a heel-heel feud with Edge. So it kind of leaves a wild card of, I don't know. I don't understand why they would put Great Khali in a championship match at this point, but he's just kind of the only man that I see there's nothing holding him back.
Khali, keep in mind that they did Khali. Remember, not too long ago, they did the Great Khali versus Triple H for the title on a recent pay-per-view. And here's another thing. The Miz went over to Raw, as a heel. So this opens up an opportunity, if they want to do that, to take a John Morrison and put him as a face and have him feud with Edge. But like you said, I don't know if he's ready yet. I don't know if they're ready to put him in a main event role. Chris Jericho, like you said, that's heel versus heel. Chris Jericho versus Edge. although there was a plan at one point to do Chris Jericho versus Edge. They could go that route. But I would say